What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another reaction video, and here we got for you guys today, EDP445 Apologize by Penguin double, O0. Right? Did I say it right? Penguinz0, my fault. I don't know why I said 00. But this is my first reaction to Penguin, man. First reaction to Charlie. And also, the first time I'm talking about the EDP445 situation on camera, at least. And yeah, I wasn't really expecting this from I wasn't really expecting EDP to be involved in this drama when I first before it even happened, before the whole situation in 2021 in April, right? And yeah, it's crazy how even with all the vulgar stuff he was saying in those videos, because I didn't watch them like that. I seen a couple other videos and they were all explicit and vulgar, and like he cursed in every single one of them. But I never thought this it will lead up to at least this situation, like this point in time. But it has. So let's just get into this video, man.
EDP445 has issued an apology for the cupcake incident from 2 years ago. Not exactly the quickest response time, but it's a little bit faster than Valve responding to Team Fortress 2 issues. So I probably don't even need to give you the lore dump here. The story of EDP445's fall from grace is a more well-known story than Little Red Riding Hood by this point.
Yeah.
But just in case, 2 years ago he was caught in a child predator sting operation, which also unearthed a lot of other repeated instances of him being inappropriate with minors in his community. For this, he lost his entire career, and since then he has desperately been trying to claw his way back to the internet because it's all he knows. It's his only home, so he pathetically comes back like every couple of months for the last 2 years, like clockwork, with a new pitiful attempt at reviving his internet career. There's only a few certainties in life: death, taxes, and EDP coming back when no one wants him to. He's posted videos on every platform that allows video sharing capability.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been surprised if he tried to make a career out of streaming on Xbox 360 Arcade Uno, where they used to let you use the Xbox fucking Connect or whatever in order to have a webcam chat in Uno servers. Wouldn't have been surprised if he tried that. He has gone to every platform ever and has been banned from all of them. Because what EDP did is unforgivable. This is not something you can ever come back from.
Nope.
He should be counting his lucky stars he's not in jail. He must have had fairy godparents and they granted him one last wish, and it was to avoid jail time. The only reason he's not there is because the investigation and all of the evidence was conducted online, so authorities usually don't use that in like actual prosecution or anything. So he must have collected all the fucking Dragon Balls and made a wish, and Shinron kept him out of jail. Because the amount of proof and evidence of not only the cupcake incident, obviously, where he actually went in person to meet a child.
Don't forget the chat logs, and even that he was doing stuff even before that situation even happened too. So it was like he had stuff on him. It's just people didn't really take it seriously because they were so delusional and so like mind-boggling, or like how explicit and how he didn't really care about anyone's opinion and everything like that. They kind of like sheltered their mind and stuff like that.
Child for sex. Not only just that, but like a repeated history of having similar circumstances with being inappropriate with kids. All of this very well documented. The fact that all of that exists and he's not in jail is beyond a miracle for EDP. And now he is once again doing his standard song and dance, trying to get back his internet career and find redemption. He's made a couple other videos in the past addressing it loosely, like where he's like eating a cupcake, so literally leaning into being a pedophile, I guess, and acknowledging it. And then only a handful of months ago, he made a statement on his website that was perhaps one of the wildest ideas ever cooked up by a human brain. He said that the whole cupcake incident, that whole scenario, was actually all acting.
Yeah,
he was hired for an acting job to play a pedophile, and he committed to the role, and he had no idea it was going to be used as like a legitimate thing. He thought it was all just a Shakespearean play, basically, just part of, the acting craft. But this is the first video he's made where he's apologizing and talking about it, like actually talking about it. And I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh wow, finally he's taking accountability. He's starting to, grow now, and maybe he can move
No.
on from this." What a bunch of hooey! That is a load of fish paste. He doesn't, in his entire 8.5 minute apology video, he doesn't once refer to what actually happened. When he's talking about being caught in a child predator sting operation, he calls it that YouTube shit.
I want to take full responsibility for my actions that happened on April 21st, 2021. The entire YouTube shit that went down, the entire YouTube incident, you know what I mean, that went the fuck down. I'm not even going to get into it. You guys already know what the fuck happened. I'm taking full responsibility, full accountability for my actions.
He doesn't even say what he did and what he is guilty of. He just loosely refers to it vaguely and brushes it off quickly. That is the opposite of taking accountability. He doesn't even fucking address it directly. Now, he states one of the reasons for the tardiness behind this apology is because he's been in talks with lawyers over the last couple of years about what he can and cannot say. And I'm just going to slap down the Phoenix Wright objection. I'm calling baloney, because if he did have a team of lawyers behind him after all these years, I'm assuming they would have advised him to not make any of the statements he's made over the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the one where he faked emails to try and confirm that all of this was actually just an acting moment. It was all just a ruse. It was supposed to be a movie, not real. It's all fake. Or the other statement he made about how it never happened in the first place and just outright denying it. I feel like if there were lawyers behind him for the last couple of years, they would have told him, do not do that.
Yeah.
But let's play ball with that idea for a second. Let's assume he's being truthful. If the lawyers have told him to not mention any of the specifics of the incident, then you can't come on this video and pretend like you're taking accountability or responsibility. If you're not willing to actually tackle what happened and what you are guilty of and actually talk about it directly, then you can't pretend that you're somehow taking accountability or responsibility in the situation.
And not only that, but not really mentioning exactly what happened, because you said you're trying to brush it off, but taking accountability at the same time, it doesn't make any sense.
I didn't want to talk about this apology video because I don't think there's any value here. I've already made a few videos talking about EDP over the last 2 years with every attempt he's made to try and come back to the internet. And this is just another one of those. A desperate Hail Mary to try and monetize an internet career again because it is all he has. It is the only home that he knows. So he keeps trying. But this is just not something that you can come back from.
Taking
the
proper measures and the proper steps forward to seek out help, to try to, get my head on right and to make sure that, in the distant future that I do not hurt, my loving, caring, supporting friends and family, because they are the ones that hurt the most. They are the ones that suffered the most.
No, they're not. The actual victims are. What do you mean? Yes, of course, they did get caught in the crossfire here from everything you did online, but you should really be apologizing far more to the actual victims. Not just the cupcake incident, but the actual children that you've been inappropriate with over all the years. He mentions that he's getting help to try and, not be a danger to children anymore, which is good, taking those steps, but even if they do cure the pedophile, it doesn't mean that you can come back as some kind of content creator again. You cannot have an internet career again after what you've done.
Yeah.
Period. Full stop. There is no coming back from that. I do find it very upsetting that when he does make these attempts at comebacks, he does usually find an audience of delusional weirdos that downplay the severity of what he's done in his past.
Only because he was already a big YouTuber and everything like that. That's all they value. Is the fame and the glory and the internet sensation. That's all they glorify. So they don't care what, unless he wasn't a big YouTuber and he was still climbing up. That's the only way they probably wouldn't have accepted it if he wasn't a big YouTube star from that moment on. You know what I'm saying?
About how pedophilia is not even a big deal and there wasn't any real victims, which is categorically false. He may not have actually met a child during the cupcake incident. It was all a sting operation, but there were very real victims to EDP that most people seem to forget.
Yeah.
Actual children he was being inappropriate with. There are victims. It's not just that one time with the sting operation, the fucking Chris Hansen have a seat to catch a predator moment for EDP. There was many more. It's just not something you move on from. Now, he does mention at the very beginning of the video that he's come close to, hurting himself and ending it all over the last couple of years as a result of everything that happened with this whole situation. And he mentions that he's extremely remorseful for all of it and recognizes that it's all his fault. And he also mentions that his family has been harassed a lot from all of this.
I
And
don't know
overall,
why.
yeah, it's sad to hear that, but again, it is all your fault.
Yeah.
You can't come back to the internet after all of this. You are a danger to children.
Yeah.
You preyed on kids in your audience. You can't come back online from that. You should have been in jail, but got extremely lucky to avoid that. So you should have been satisfied with just being able to stay out of jail and completely cut ties with the internet. Buckle down.
Honestly, I feel like for him not being in jail, it's like it could be a double-edged sword. Because like, who knows what you're gonna lose after the situation? Is everything has been pasted online. Like, I don't know how can you not be viewed as this child predator online anymore. Like, this is all over, honestly. Like, you might lose more from not being in jail than you being in jail, honestly. Yeah, that's tough.
Down in the real world and just do something else and never come back online. Now, I understand over the last 2 years he has tried getting other jobs, but some people have recognized him and felt unsafe because,
that's what I mean.
Shocker, child predators are a danger in society. So he did lose his job, his other couple of jobs he's had over the last couple of years, but that doesn't mean you just quit and then just go back to the internet to try and monetize there for your career. You cannot come back from what you did online, period. So you should have just kept trying to find a job that you can hold down where people aren't going to recognize and harass you, and just stay pursuing that. He also does mention that the reason he's making the apology is because he wants to eventually have redemption online, which I think what he's done is irredeemable. I really do. I feel like most people probably do as well. It's an unforgivable act. But he keeps trying. And I don't even think this apology is genuine. This feels once again like another plan of his to try and crawl back online, because he has done it so many times before. This is not really taking accountability or responsibility. He keeps saying that it is, but he can't even address the actual issue itself. And like, not only the cupcake incident, he doesn't even mention the other victims outside of that either. So he doesn't actually even take any accountability or anything like that. So I don't even think it's coming from a place of like genuine remorse or anything. It really seems like it's coming from a place of desperation to find a career again online. So yeah, that's about it. So yep.
Alright. Yeah, so I really thought he was gonna apologize, but I guess not. So, yep, that was a bummer. It doesn't matter if he made an apology or not anyway, because it's not like people was gonna forget about this moment. It's not like people was gonna forgive you. And it's not like you could come back onto the internet thinking that all that stuff that happened 2 years ago was just gonna be just like a one stain on your memory or your career, and you was gonna be able to come back. That's not how it works. But yeah, it sucks that your family has been caught in the crossfire because of what you did. But you did this to yourself. Like, you knew you had a stable career. You had a stable career, and you messed it up all for a cupcake. All just that was your whole rules that you came up with on the fly. Like, and then you had other instances before that happened, but even though you didn't get caught, so that's why you kept doing it. But dude, do you know who you were? You had over 1 million subscribers. You was already living lavish. Like, why'd you mess it up? But yeah, it doesn't matter at this point. Yeah, I'm done talking about the situation. But this is the end of the video, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see next in the comments down below. Go to my Patreon where all of my block reactions will be without the blur and without the copyright on the screen. Go turn on your post notifications so you'll be notified every time I drop a new video, because I promise you do not want to miss it. But with that being said, I am out, guys.